Okay, so I'm just going to start with basically a brief introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Diana. And normally, I don't call myself Teacher Diana. I'm just Diana. But for today, you can call me Miss D. Okay, so basically, I am a full time actress and I'm a celebrity. I'm an influencer. Apa lagi? I can consider myself a singer. Well, I can consider myself a singer because I have songs. How do I? Okay. And so today, of course, I don't have the qualifications to teach anybody English. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are much better and more competent to do that. So today, for me, I just want to talk to you guys about how to speak English confidently. And I think, in my perspective, confidence is something that you have to learn to build. It's obviously something that doesn't come naturally, especially when you're learning something new, like a new language. And just give me a moment. And so, in my opinion, good job. I always put music when I do my lives, so just ignore the fact because it helps me to not have things so quiet and serious. Okay, so in my opinion, when you're learning something new, it's very daunting. Dia macam sangat menakutkan kalau I'll speak in Malay juga. Sangat menakutkan juga kadang-kadang tu bila kita nak belajar a new language or a new skill. Contohnya kalau kita baru belajar nak memandu, when you're learning how to drive, when you're learning a new skill or whatsoever, kan kita akan rasa really really low confidence lah. Low confidence, and we don't want to show people that we're actually learning. Sometimes we don't even want to tell people that we're actually endeavoring into something new. But to me, dirasa that's all part of I guess us trying to grow and expand in terms of our knowledge, the things that we want to achieve. Kita mesti akan nampak silly dulu before we can actually be comfortable with this new skill. So many people think that they're bad in English, but the real issue here is not really the language, but it's the fear, not the ability. So nasib baiklah dirasa macam in Malaysia kita ada ramai ada banyak opportunity kita untuk cakap bahasa English. Sebab dekat Malaysia ni memang kita akan campurkan bahasa tu dengan bahasa Melayu. Banyak perkataan dalam bahasa Melayu tu pun um, it's very similar ataupun memang dalam bahasa Inggeris yang dimelayukan lah kan, macam komputer, apa lagi, macam telefon. So all these words membuatkan kita sebenarnya dah ada jambatan tu ataupun that bridge in learning this language because it's very close to our own language juga. So untuk D, you don't really need to have perfect English or know how to speak English perfectly. Yang penting, okay, untuk orang yang baru belajar, macam D sekarang sebenarnya I'm learning Mandarin really slowly. But for me, lebih baik kita start somewhere daripada kita tak mulakan langsung. So in my opinion, contohnya kalau kita tak reti nak form a sentence ataupun kita nak structure a full sentence in English tu pun tak apa sebenarnya. You boleh campur-campur. The beauty of being in Malaysia is tak rasa pelik pun kalau kita campur-campur bahasa. Walaupun sebenarnya that may not be the best way to execute this ni lah kan, tapi bagi dia it's the opportunity, peluang untuk kita menggunakan perkataan-perkataan baru. We're trying to learn new words ataupun we're trying to practice the new words or the sentence yang kita baru belajar tu. Contohnya kita nak cakap tentang hari kita kan. So kadang-kadang when I speak Mandarin, dia akan tak tahu nak cakap the word, so I just say it in English. So I akan cakap contohnya, saya nak pergi kerja pada pukul 9 malam. Okay? Ni lah pukul 9 kan. Saya nak kerja pukul 9 malam. So if you say it in English, I'm going to work or I want to go to work at 9 p.m. Tapi mungkin kita tak tahu macam mana nak sentence properly kan. So kita cakap, I want to go to work pukul 9 malam. At least you dah start halfway dah. And then you can build your vocabulary from there. So the main point is that kita takut sangat untuk salah. Bagi dia kalau kita nak belajar sesuatu, salah tu is part of the process. And then nak nampak silly tu ataupun nampak kelakar tu pun part of the process. So learning how to laugh at yourself ataupun just take it easy on yourself, jangan terlalu be too serious about the learning process is going to make the learning process much more enjoyable. Okay? So let's talk about kenapa second language ni adalah satu advantage kepada kita. Especially when the language that you're learning is widely used globally. Contohnya, bahasa-bahasa yang ramai orang gunakan di seluruh dunia lah. Contohnya macam English, Mandarin, Spanish, even Korean. So empat bahasa ni bagi di, kalau kita contohnya ada satu bahasa ibunda kita, kan? So dalam in our context ni, bahasa ibunda kita might be Mandarin, might be bahasa Melayu, might be Tamil, or whatever language lah bahasa ibunda kita. But we want to add a second language. Contohnya ada yang nak belajar English, Mandarin, Spanish, Korean. It's amazing sebenarnya because one, you get professional and business advantage. Contohnya bila you dah fasih dalam satu bahasa tu, you boleh bekerja, orang kata dapat opportunities to work using that language. You dapat berkenalan dengan orang-orang di serata dunia yang mungkin you takkan dapat nak berkenalan kalau bukan kerana you tahu bahasa tu. Another thing that I love about Another thing that I love about learning a new language is that one, you get to make more friends. Two, you learn about the culture. And it's a lot easier juga when you travel. Sebab bila kita keluar daripada Malaysia, bahasa Malaysia tu kita dah tak boleh nak pakai, betul tak? So kita nak kena pakai a second language that is more international, yang ramai lagi boleh berbahasa lah, boleh communicate dengan kita. So one thing that I always remember is that language is a form of communication. So kalau kita faham yang language tu is a form of communication, kita tak stress sangat tentang how we are structuring the sentence. Tapi lebih kepada pastikan yang apa yang kita nak cakap tu sampai. Tak kisahlah contohnya kalau kita nak cakap me hungry want eat. Kalau saya nak pergi satu negara tu dan saya nak cari makan lah kan. Dan diorang hanya faham bahasa Inggeris sahaja. So if I go to another country and I say, me hungry, I want eat. So it doesn't matter if I don't say it perfectly. Tapi as long as I boleh, orang tu faham dan dia boleh tolong chat, okay, you should go here, there or behind this road, you can go. So at least you dapat menyelesaikan satu masalah. Contohnya kalau ada orang pun, contohnya saya nak cakap yang saya nampak business opportunity yang kita akan dapat adalah bila kita dah mula fasih, kadang-kadang tak payah nak expert pun. Kita dah mula fasih, kita dah mula orang kata boleh communicate well, kita pun boleh jadi guru bahasa juga. So kita boleh ajar orang-orang yang baru nak belajar sesuatu bahasa tu, and we can make get income from there lah. Okay, so saya sebagai orang Melayu, me as a Malay, I speak bahasa Melayu and I speak English. So membesar dia memang cakap these two languages. Cuma ada kadang-kadang tu kita akan lebih cakap bahasa Melayu, akan lebih cakap bahasa Inggeris according to dekat mana, mungkin kita duduk dekat area luar bandar ataupun dekat dalam bandar. So kita dapat adjust diri kita dengan baik. Satu kelebihan lah bagi D yang I'm half white. So apa yang jadi adalah kadang-kadang ramai ramai orang-orang di luar sana, diorang mungkin mak orang sini, ayah orang sini ataupun one of the parents is orang luar. Diorang hanya pandai bahasa Inggeris sahaja, bahasa Melayu ataupun bahasa ibunda dia tak berapa nak fasih. Sebenarnya dia akan ada satu kejanggalan yang agak besar jugalah bagi seseorang tu, kerana dia almost macam dia tak boleh nak relate dengan culture dia sendiri. So bagi dia, bila dia cakap bahasa Melayu, I can understand my culture, I can understand my people, I can understand so many things about myself juga melalui bahasa dia. So I'm also saying that English is also my native language lah. So yeah, kita punya dunia rasa lebih luas, lebih diverse, dan bagi dia akan buat kita punya dunia ni macam lagi seronok, ramai kawan, banyak opportunities dan sebagainya. So that is my, orang kata, explanation as to why mungkin susah untuk kita nak belajar the second language tu, tapi dirasa benefits dia sangat banyak. Okay, alright, so kita akan continue to our second part, which is debunking the myths. Okay, so let's talk about benda-benda yang saya rasa tidak benar ataupun kita tak payah nak ikut sangat lah. Okay, so dekat sini kita cakap pasal kelancaran bahasa or fluency. You know, macam dia cakap tadi, yang penting kita nak pastikan that we can communicate apa yang kita perlukan ataupun apa yang kita nak. As long as we can do that, you're already successful in that language. In terms of kita punya kepakaran tu ataupun kita punya kelancaran tu is a different ni. Ini maksudnya bila kita baru nak belajar, kalau kita boleh cakap nama kita, umur kita, belajar dekat mana, tinggal dekat mana, nak cakap pasal makan apa, buat apa dan sebagainya, itu dah kira satu level dah. Okay, so kita pun kena sedar, actually even native speakers pun will make a lot of mistakes, because when you speak day to day language, dia bukan macam kita tulis buku, you know. So sometimes kita memang cakap bahasa pasar je. People don't really care about what you say, how you say it, you know. As long as they understand what you want, diorang dah tak kisah dah. Orang yang selalu gelakkan apa semua, kadang-kadang diorang kacau-kacau je sebab diorang nampak benda tu comel. Dan ada juga yang mungkin tak faham struggle kita. They don't understand the struggle when we're trying to learn a new language, and it's okay. I think kita jangan fikir sangat. We don't have to think about how people perceive our learning apa tu journey tu. Yang penting each day we know that we're improving. Okay, so let's talk about confidence. Yang penting, I think you just have to put the confidence in. When you don't have confidence, you don't want to try new things, betul tak? So as long as you pasang confidence tu, pasang maksudnya you have to push yourself, you have to fake it. Like contohnya, okay, there's this one interview by Rihanna. So Rihanna was interviewed by this reporter. So this reporter tanya dia, how do you, when you don't feel beautiful that day, how do you deal with it, because you have to go show up for events and all that stuff. And she just said, fake it. You just have to fake confidence, even though you don't feel beautiful, you don't feel like you're 100%, you just have to fake it. So a lot of times kita memang kena paksa diri kita. Sometimes we have to fake confidence, but in order for us, tapi it's crucial sebab kita kena explore kemampuan kita. And how you explore kemampuan is untuk jadi orang yang berani. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's give you some examples of international celebrities with accents or English that orang akan kata macam, yeah, it's okay, but they're very, very brave for trying. One, I would say Jackie Chan. So Jackie Chan is famous in China, he's famous in Hong Kong. All his movies memang meletup mostly in Asia. And then suddenly at one point he crossed over time Rush Hour, tak silap saya, this movie. There's 3 franchise movies Rush Hour ni. And during masa diorang interview Jackie Chan, they interviewed him. And then he said, actually, I didn't even understand. Dia macam orang cakap dekat dia, dia ulang je. You know, Orang cakap dia ulang, orang cakap dia ulang. So, can you imagine you are from another country, you don't even know the language, you can only speak very basic lah, basic English, but you are starring in a multi-million dollar movie and you have to speak a different language. Dan dia hanya perlu meletakkan confidence dia sahaja. Kadang-kadang dia kata macam dia orang paksa dia cakap this joke or that joke. They were telling him, okay, you have to say these lines, you know, and then orang semua gelak, ha ha ha. And then dia kata macam, apa yang kelakar sangat? Sebab he doesn't understand the culture kan, because language dia akan datang dengan budaya. Dia akan datang dengan all these nuances yang kita takkan faham. Jadi ambil masa juga untuk dia bukan hanya faham lawak tapi faham sebenarnya makna sebalik lawak tu. So that's why I'm saying bila kita nak belajar bahasa ni we have to be kind to ourselves sebab dia akan ambil masa. Tapi slowly dia macam bawang akan dikupas, slowly akan kupas dan lama-lama kita akan lebih mendalami naturally. Okay. Another one is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Betul aku cakap tu. Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger. Arnold. Alisa. Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger. Yeah. So dia pun, I think he's Polish, right? He's like in that region lah. And dia punya cara dia cakap tu, memang sebenarnya orang faham tak faham jugalah. But because of his accent, he became, that is his identity. Sometimes kita punya accent tu menjadikan kita unik di mata orang lain ataupun di telinga halua orang lain. So contohnya, if we speak English also in bahasa, in the way bahasa people talk, it doesn't matter. As long as, yeah, it sounds funny lah because it's like, okay, it sounds like macam why I tak cakap dalam, you know, like English and the way that people in the UK speak. It really doesn't matter. Yang penting macam dia cakap, as long as people understand. If you see Chef Wan, the way Chef Wan talk, you know, it's so him because he's not trying to reka-reka dia punya accent tu. You know, sometimes when people want to learn a language, they go for the accent first. Tapi sebenarnya, just go for what you want to say first. Okay, what's important to you, what you are trying to learn. If you're trying to learn professional English, then there's a way for you to learn the language. If you want to learn the casual way of English, then akan ada cara lain untuk kita belajar. So intention kita ataupun kita punya goal tu penting juga untuk kita nak clarify lah, untuk kita nak faham. Okay, sebab dia sangat lain. So kita tak boleh guna everyday English untuk di tempat kerja contohnya. Tapi awal-awal tu tak kisahlah, it doesn't really have to have a form. But I'm just saying that if you want to learn and you need to have an end goal to it, okay? And another one, okay, another local celebrity yang saya rasa sangat berani and confident yang mungkin korang boleh tengok balik diorang punya her interviews on YouTube. Amber Chia. Saya kenal Amber Chia daripada umur saya, I've known her since I was like 15, right? One thing about her is that she only spoke Chinese dulu. I don't know exactly if it's Mandarin ke tak, but she spoke Chinese because she's not from KL, so dia daripada luar bandar. Datang dari keluarga, I think ayah dia fisherman kot tak silap. So dia memang dari kampung and dia tak pernah belajar bahasa Inggeris. Tapi dia tahu yang for her job, because she's a supermodel, she is always dealing with people cakap Mandarin, cakap Melayu, cakap English. So she spoke, I mean, two languages dah lah. She can speak Malay, she can speak English. To me, I mean, that's amazing already. Malay and Mandarin. So the third language that she wanted to orang kata belajar is English. And can you imagine, you already know these two languages and Mandarin is very, very difficult to learn, kan? And dia memang dah bahasa ibunda dia, Mandarin. And she's adding another language. So this is a third language. But people normally tak fikir benda tu. So they're like, "Oh my God, you sound funny lah, Amber, when you speak English." And people used to laugh at her and talk about how she, apa, how she was just memang English dia time tu berterabur lah. Memang dia pun tahu berterabur. So bukan saya cakap benda yang tak sepatutnya lah. Memang people were like, bila Amber boleh je nak cakap Melayu. She could have just chosen to speak in Mandarin ke, in Malay ke, but she was like, no, I want to speak English. So she would actually go on stage when macam if she menang award ke apa ke, or people call her on stage or interviews kan, she will just speak English all the way. And not just her English too was like, a little bit ni, but it was also her accent. It was very thick Chinese accent. So she was struggling with her vocabulary and she was also struggling with her accent. But when people laugh, dia pun gelap. Bila orang kata macam, oh my God, you're so brave. She's like, yes, I'm really trying. So she didn't care what people said about her. She didn't care if people laughed. She just made sure, okay, you know what? I want to learn this language, so I have to apply it every day. I have to speak it every day. I have to practice every day. And I think now, because we are working together in the same company lah as ambassadors. So when I met her, her English is perfect now. It's perfect. She's improved so much, and definitely because dia memang orang yang sangat bekerja keras, and she knows exactly how to tawan, or take control of her confidence lah. Okay, tawan her fears, take control of her fears. Okay, so let's continue to talk about why it's stopping certain people from trying. Okay, one, I think most of the time it's not about the language macam dia cakap, it's about the fear of being judged, fear of looking silly, fear of macam kita blank. Kadang-kadang kita nak cuba cakap this word or that word, kita blank. So in that moment when you're blank, you don't know how to say a certain word tu, just say it in your native language. Contohnya macam I want to pergi tandas. If you don't know how to say I want to use the loo, you can just go, okay, you know what, I want to pergi tandas. So as long as you dah structure benda tu, lama-lama you will improve the way you speak. Okay, and here's another important thing to remember is that macam dia cakap, native speakers pun, diorang pun akan make mistakes. People yang cakap memang dia lahir-lahir cakap English pun, they will make mistakes juga. They will forget words, they will mix up grammar, they will stutter, and that's why dirasa macam you don't have to expect perfection from yourself. Okay, just expect that you learn something new every day with the language that you're trying to learn. Okay, so confidence isn't a personality trait. Orang bukan lahir-lahir confident. Okay, it's a skill. So it's a skill meaning that you have to practice confidence. Okay, and it's something that you have to build one word at a time. Okay, so let's continue to the next part. Ada myth-myth ya yang kita akan discusskan. Another one is my English isn't good enough, okay, and we've talked about it. So it's not about whether your English is good as long as you can communicate. Second, I'm afraid people will laugh. And again, just enjoy the journey. If people laugh, you laugh with them and you explain it back to them and say, I'm learning. It's funny now, but at the same time, I'm enjoying myself. Okay. And third, kadang-kadang bila kita tengah belajar a new language, we might translate a lot of things in our head. And it takes it's processing time. And it's okay because everything starts from our brain. So sometimes you may need some time to tune your brain, but it's okay. Macam for myself, I think in English, and sometimes when I'm trying to speak in bahasa, I akan pending macam loading sikit. Because I have to translate things in my brain. So even though these two languages adalah bahasa ibunda di, I still sometimes have to think in my head and translate in my head. So it's a never-ending process for your brain because I think kita punya otak, dia memang akan ada satu main language yang dia dah pasang dekat otak. The contohnya, another thing that I realized is that I speak Malay to my kids, with my kids, but then I speak English mostly with everybody else. I pun tak tahu kenapa, but that's just something that I dah set in my brain. Okay, so let's talk about I mean, we talked about confidence and all that. So how do you build confidence in, learning how to speak confidently in English? Okay, so there are 5 practical techniques that you can try at home, okay, or anywhere really, in the car pun boleh. Let me just move on to the next one. These are just my notes. Okay. So, 5 practical techniques. Okay, before I talk about the techniques, I remember masa di baru je start berlakon. My Malay is good, but it's not TV drama level. Macam dia cakap, there's speaking casually, kita bercakap bahasa pasar hari-harian, and there's speaking a language, in a professional setting. So my Malay was good, but banyak bahasa atau banyak perkataan, there were many words that I actually didn't have a clue of. So macam, I'll give you an example. I was reading a script and then it said simpang malaikat 44, meaning like touch wood or something, harap benda tu tak jadi. I was like, what is simpang malaikat 44? So it's those terms that walaupun kadang-kadang we feel that we know a language, but there's always something new to learn. So it took me many, many years untuk di betul-betul selesa, that I was confident with my Malay in that level. Okay. So the first technique, 5 techniques, I'll just go through all the techniques first. One is mirror talk. Okay. Talk to yourself daily for 2 minutes. Okay. Or as long as you want, or as short as you want. Meaning, you just talk to yourself in the language that you're trying to learn, or in English. Okay. Um, Start with what you know. Okay, you don't have to trail off and say all the things you don't know. Just start with what you know. Try to remember the things you've learned. Just process it back again. It's like recalling all these words and situations that you want to use, practically. So number 2 is record yourself. Okay, so everybody now has a camera phone. Jarang lah ditengok orang yang tak ada camera phone. Okay, unless you're like me, where my camera phone doesn't have any more memory. So you can just record yourself. You can listen and you can take note what you like from your process too. Okay, so when you're listening to yourself, it's not about um, it's not about focusing on your flaws. It's about hearing yourself and actually picking out all the good things that you've actually learned lah. Contohnya macam, you need to be your biggest cheerleader. So bila you record yourself tu, you have to be a teacher that's encouraging yourself. Faham tak maksudnya? You can't look at it and say, ini salah, itu salah, itu salah. You're not a critic. You're not yelah, you bukan seorang kritik. You are someone who is just trying to give yourself the confidence. So whatever positive things ataupun the right words that you use, the sentence structure ke apa, that's where you go, good job, good job. And sometimes you can learn to tweak a little bit of the things that you rasa macam, I think I can do better here. I think I can improve here and there. So, but be kind to yourself. It's not about the flaws. It's about refining. Dia macam kalau kita belajar gitar ataupun piano kan, we are refining our skills. Contohnya as well, when we're driving, um, sometimes when you're learning how to drive, it gets a little bit like awkward, but after a while, you can refine your skills, and sometimes you can look left and right. You don't have to like fixate your attention onto the road all the time anymore. So that's what I mean. The third one is shadowing. Okay, so shadowing ni maksudnya apa-apa dialog yang you nampak macam dekat social media or your favorite show, you like a certain dialogue or you rasa macam you want to try to speak like the person that you're trying to emulate to, you're trying to um, copy lah, okay? So it's called shadowing for a reason sebab kita macam cuba nak copy that sentence tu. So you copy the dialogue and then you try to speak it. Okay, so macam mana orang tu cakap, macam tu lah kita cuba shadow and copy how they speak. And that will help train your tongue and your mouth to speak. Okay, why kita kena train our tongue and mouth? Because, okay, if I speak in English, there's a certain way that I'm talking, that I'm speaking kan. But bila dia cakap bahasa Melayu, dia punya lidah dengan mulut pun akan lain. If I speak, kalau contohnya kita baca doa dalam bahasa Arab pun, kita akan ada kokolah kita yang mungkin kita tak boleh apply in English or Malay. You know, kita takkan cakap kelakar. That is, apa tu, kedah kan. So kedah tu dia selalu cakap macam guna kokolah. Kan? Tapi orang Kedah tak cakap kelakar sebenarnya. Lara, lara, uh, hampa. So kita ada kalkulah kita sendiri, bahasa Arab ada kalkulah dia sendiri, bahasa Mandarin ada kalkulah dia sendiri, and English pun ada kalkulah dia sendiri. Okay, macam contohnya kalau macam you perasan Liler. Like Liler, it's like you can't apply the Kolkolah English into Malay, then you become Liler. Okay, so like I tak boleh lah nak cakap dalam bahasa Melayu macam ni if I guna cara cakap bahasa English. Then dia nampak macam I ni dah duduk di New York dah 20 tahun tak pernah belajar betul-betul nak cakap bahasa Melayu. So lidah dengan kita punya mulut bila kita cakap satu bahasa tu, kita memang kena tune dan bercakap macam that bahasa tu. But it takes time. So that's why bila kita shadow benda tu, kita ikut cara orang tu bercakap dalam bahasa dia, we are training the tongue and the mouth to ikut kolkolah sesuatu bahasa tu. Okay? If you perasan, a lot of kids nowadays when they when they watch YouTube, do you present that a lot of kids now they probably don't speak English at all at home, but they have the either American or thick British accent because they shadow a lot of their cartoons or their shows that they love. Like Aurora, my daughter, she is so sassy. Sometimes I'm like, where is that accent coming from? You know, so itu adalah the natural, kids naturally love to shadow. So that's something that you can also do. Maybe there's a certain character that you like, a certain person that you admire, and you love the way they talk, then you can copy their dialogue and you can start to shadow them. Okay? Number 4 is one new word a day. So one new word a day ni is just so that you can build your vocab lah. You can try to challenge yourself. Sometimes the word doesn't have to be complicated ataupun words that are big. It's just practical words that you need for your everyday conversation. Because when you're learning something, learning a new language, you don't want to apply or learn a word that you're not going to use often. So you want to learn a word that you are probably going to use a lot. So look at your surrounding, look at your situations, and then try to find words that you need to use regularly. So when you use them a lot, then it will stick, and then you can slowly grow your vocab and grammar from there. Okay? Number 5 is fake it till you make it. Macam dicakap, you know, people like Amber Chia, Jackie Chan, and a few other celebrities yang Ana de Amas, is that her name? Ana de Amas, Del Amas? Yeah, dia pun, she is a Spanish speaker. I think she speaks only Spanish. And when she got her first role in this movie, she actually didn't know how to speak English at all. Tapi dia shadow. She used shadow work where she copied exactly how a person would say it, and then now she speaks English, extremely well. So you have to fake it in order for you to get there. Okay, so practice confident body language and the tone, and try to get comfortable with the language. Okay, and number six is assigning a friend to talk to you every day, and this is something that my manager Alyssa did when you were learning English. So Alyssa was doing her degree. Okay, so I didn't actually tell her, but I'm going to ask her to come on board here and explain.
Hello.
Hi. So, sorry, Alyssa, I
It's
don't have a
okay.
chair
No
for you.
worries.
So, Alyssa was telling me that you, during your degree days, you assigned a partner to speak English. Can you explain to them?
Oh, that one was diploma.
Diploma.
Okay, so when I entered diploma, I would say like among my classmates, my English was slightly better than the others. So I have a friend who struggled talking in English. So basically when like they said bila cakap English tapi dia bunyi terlampau Melayu. So certain words like our lecturer macam dia bukan marah but dia just macam ingatkan okay like certain people might understand certain are not, so she just wanted everyone to excel in English. So what we do, I partner up with her, and not just her actually, there was a group of my classmates like my friends which I helped them, but I made a deal with them because they were so I would say like very low confidence nak cakap in English. So and imagine you dah masuk uni, all syllabus are in English. So that's really hard. So of course like when we're in a class, we promise to help each other because semua orang ada kelemahan and also strong
Kelebihan.
points masing-masing. So we help lah. So I made a deal with everyone. I cakap you cakap je any like you talk to me in English in whatever accent and in whatever pronunciation.
No rules.
No rules. I will not judge. So I talk to them, and that's how we do it lah. So until end of our diploma, I would say everyone slowly built that confidence lah because I told everyone we promise in this class macam mana you present and whatever words that came out of your mouth, we won't judge. Tapi another thing that I told them, kalau kita betulkan your English, don't get offended. So I think gradually everyone improve.
Yay.
So I'm so happy for them.
Yay! Thank you, Alisa. So that's, I think, one of the best ways because you need a safe space to learn a
Yes,
language.
betul.
Safe space is one, but also because there's that safe space, you also get that courage. And if you don't speak it, your friends pun akan marah and say like, "Where's the language?"
True.
Yeah. So thank you. Okay, so what do you think about the five practical techniques that I talked about? Do you think they're actually practical for people to
Yes,
apply?
very. I think these are the things that I would say people actually apply in their life. Okay, so about shadowing. Okay, I don't know. I'm a I'm a fan of BTS. So their leader called apa ni Namjoon. So what he did was he watched Friends and he did the exact same thing. He never learned English tapi dia tengok Friends sahaja. And technically like he learns English from Friends, and from among the groups dia yang paling very well versed in English.
Wow.
So
Apa kejap? There's also one where my friend dia kata she learned Mandarin through translating songs. Right? You
betul.
ke?
Yeah, I did.
Not my friend lah. You.
Yeah.
Bukan Mandarin. Korean.
Yeah, Korean. I
Korean.
did that with Korean. So
And how do you do that? That's another. I think that's a fun way to do it.
Yes.
So can you explain that other technique? So this
So-
is technique number 7.
So okay, this is actually were taught by my tutor. So when I'm still learning the beginner punya class. So dia kata if you want, it might be a little bit hard for me to go to like I do catch things from TV, like when we watch dramas or movies. Tapi macam sometimes it's a bit hard for me to go through the text because macam mana you nak print and stuff like that tu ni kan. So the most easiest way dia kata, you choose your favorite songs and you translate daripada situ. So macam because there's like vocabulary, there's grammar, and it's a little bit poetic as well lah kalau in songs kan. So from time to time you will learn, and that actually helps me a lot as well to understand Korean.
Nice. I think I should also practice that when I do my
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Which I should have applied. Like, dia bagi tahu I berapa bulan, but I didn't apply it. So again, it's also about how hard you want to work on a language, right? Okay, thank you, Alisa.
Okay.
I was gonna say gamate, but that's not it. That's not it. Let's not speak Korean. We have about 15 minutes left, so I'm gonna try to call Alisa in for a bit later,
Okay.
to do a little exercise scenario if we have the time. But let me just give you another real world example. Jom kita just if you think about someone in business pun kan, Jack Ma for instance. Kalau you tengok lah cara Jack Ma tu sebenarnya dia communicate kan, yeah, he he will speak like Jack Ma lah, you know. You dengar je, you dah tahu that's Jack Ma. He's not trying to put on an accent. He's not trying to say things that, it's like flowery language. He just nak communicate apa yang dia nak cakap. He wants people to understand about his business, about his brand, about the things that he's trying to achieve, and that's it. And that's very orang kata berani lah untuk dia kan, because he's on the world stage. So a lot of the things in common lah with people who are in front of the camera sebenarnya, they have this thick skin where they're like, listen, I don't care how people perceive me. As long as I'm trying, I'm succeeding. So as long as kita cuba, kita tak malu, kita letak tepi lah rasa malu tu, that is progress right there. Okay, so kejap, let me just change the ni. Yeah, because mainly kan, macam I cakap, language is simply to communicate, okay, with others, and over time you will naturally improve, in that whole process. And to be honest, like the world doesn't need perfect English speakers. The world needs real people, okay, with real stories and real courage, using language to connect. Because language tu kita nak try to connect. We want to try to make friends, find opportunities, tell our story and stuff like that. So kadang-kadang, even in very simple words, we want to at least try to connect with people around us. Okay, um, and so let's try something. Let's try something. If you have friends, okay, macam tadi Alisa, you ada cakap. Kejap. Mari sini, bawalah kerusi. Sian you. Alright. Okay. So macam you cakap, when you are with your friends, so sometimes people are like, okay, I'm with my friends, what do I talk about? Right? So now I have this group of people trying to learn English. So where do we start?
I would start with like maybe like hobby and or interest. Like okay, recently you introduced me to pickle, right? So I think that's a very interesting topic to
Okay.
talk about.
So let's do an exercise where I will ask you certain questions and then you answer. So
Okay.
there's one. I mean, not. So we ask each other questions and we
Okay.
try to communicate
Okay.
in simple English, but try to like
Can.
be confident lah kan. Okay. So Alyssa,
Yes.
how was your first pickle experience?
Okay, so she brought me for pickle last Friday. Last Friday night after a while. After a while, you've been asking me to. That was the day that I agreed to.
And it was at 11
yeah,
p.m.
until 1.
until 1.
Okay, so it was very, I would say, exciting and fun because at first I was nervous because I was like, are we gonna play or just like playing around? So I was worried for myself.
Wow,
Mm.
you didn't seem worried at all. Oh my god.
So I was very worried, but then they turned it into a fun session because we were like, okay, let's practice first and learn like what this is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the basics.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And then the next day, she had competition with her whole family. They organized this like family competition for pickle. Did it help you at all after the first session?
A lot. It helped a lot. Okay, so I used to play tennis when I was in primary school, and then after a while, like I haven't like hold a racket like lama gila dah. It's like so long. So that was the day, like the first time I badminton was like okay lah.
Yeah.
But the paddle macam the tennis racket memang dah lama.
It's different.
Yeah.
Tennis racket dengan paddle. Paddle is more like
It's very
ping
light.
pong.
Yes, and it's very light.
Yeah.
And your movement is much more easier.
Yes.
Because it's very like small,
Betul.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So do you have any questions for me?
Okay, what makes it? Or what? No. Why do you like pickle?
I find that pickle is a social sport. I don't normally like when there's sports and then there's social sports, right? So sports me, you take it seriously. It's sometimes like really hard for you to apa tu like acquire the skill. You have to spend a significant amount of time. Like tennis takes a long time for you to master.
True.
But pickle takes like 3 sessions before you're like really comfortable with the rules and everything. But the thing is, like, pickle has taken Malaysia by storm. So everybody plays pickle, and the people that I probably wouldn't really like spend time with, I actually get to spend time with them. And I made so many new friends, and not just new friends, but I reconnected with so many of my old friends through pickle. And I find that that is the best part about pickle. Yeah, and I got to pull you in, so now
Yeah.
you're like in the pickle world.
Yes.
So like just now we were at Wanutama, and then we saw there was a pickle competition in the concourse area.
That's so cool.
So cool.
Okay.
And because you can tell like everybody plays pickle, so people were like so engrossed in the pickle game.
Okay.
Because we all macam, oh my god, we know
This is
what's
fun.
going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. This is fun.
So that's why. So what other sport do you think that you still haven't tried but looks like something that you'd like to try?
Archery.
Oh, I haven't booked that
Yeah.
class. So that's another game that we were supposed to kita sepatutnya book, but it took me a long time because my schedule's been crazy. And we're supposed to do the archery hangout
Oh
session.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is basically a very simple example of how we can get the ball rolling when it comes to having a friend to talk to. And again, the rule, like Alyssa says, is there are no rules actually. Okay, so Alyssa, let's give them a slightly different way of talking, because I said the beauty about being Malaysian is that you boleh campur-campur bahasa.
Yes.
So let's give you guys another example where if you're not confident with speaking full English, in a sentence, jom kita campur-campurkan, because again, it's all about applying the words and applying the new skill or the new things that you want to learn into the sentence. So okay, let's talk about our day.
Okay.
Tapi kita campur-campur.
Boleh.
Okay, that's very Malaysian, so it's very natural for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you balik rumah semalam around 12:30.
I had to.
You got home at 2.
two-ish.
Faster?
Uh, so I sent your kids. Okay, so yesterday during the family event, Aurora and Muhammad actually joined the pickle with my family event as well. So I sent them back to the hotel, and I was arranging a few stuff. I think I arrived around 2.
Mana bahasanya?
Sekejap. Pasal I sampai rumah, I texted you juga.
Ah,
Okay,
yeah,
I rasa
yeah.
kita tidur pukul 4.
Yeah, kita tidur at 4 a.m.
4 a.m. So thankfully tak ada schedule for her today, except for the you went to a wedding kan. Tu
Yeah.
je.
Oh my god. Yeah, today I bangun, I died.
Me too.
The kids went rock climbing today. Sungai Wang has rock climbing, it has go-karting. So the kids were very busy. Diorang balik-balik penat, Alhamdulillah. So balik rumah and I ordered Grab dinner, So it's not perfect today. Memang kita masing-masing very exhausted. Tapi tak apalah. I think it's fun.
Yeah, and most important, I had deep sleep.
I think it's not deep sleep, babe.
Kita
Rasa you pengsan.
knocked out terus. I only like bangun masa abang Fendi called me. I was like, okay abang.
Pukul 10.
Pukul 10.
Allah, yeah. So this is basically how beautiful. I think Malay bahasa yang sangat flexible, and I think tak ada reason kenapa kita tak boleh nak apply learn English, because like Malay ni memang dia dah macam kuah campur dah.
Betul.
So if you don't have the full structure of the sentence, all the words in a sentence, you masukkan je bahasa Melayu, mana yang you tahu, you masuk terus bahasa Inggeris, you just campur, and before you know it, yang penting the conversation keeps flowing, Macam my Cambodian maid pun, like she now understands English and she can speak English because this house is Malay English speaking, and my kids will teach her, so now
Which is a two-way
kita dah tak boleh
interaction.
complain depan dia.
Betul.
Because she will understand that kita saya cakap pasal dia. So yeah, any last words?
No. I think you guys should be like jangan takut nak cakap in English. Just go for it. Salah tak apa.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think you kena put juga, because I understand you might not have that safe space that people will judge you. Tapi kalau you tak start daripada sekarang, and if you don't train from now on, sampai bila pun ni, you will not basically improve your English. So
Betul.
teruskan je, tak apa. Kalau orang tegur you take it as a lesson. Don't get offended with it.
And learning a new language is hard.
Yes.
It's not easy. Certain people memang they have their brain yang senang nak tangkap language.
Yes.
Jangan samakan korang dengan
Betul.
orang yang memang talented macam
Yes,
tu.
betul.
I think we all know orang-orang yang macam dia belajar 6 bulan je dia orang terus boleh like literally speak like a native kan.
Betul.
And then here we are 3 years later still like that.
Still kat beginner.
Yeah, and it's okay because semua orang lain-lain, and jangan biarkan benda tu macam patahkan semangat kita. So I learned Mandarin 2 years. You ask me to speak Mandarin, I cannot. But if people ask me, macam they test me, I actually know certain words. But then otak I macam pending je.
Because I'm gonna translate.
And then I've heard that one before.
Betul.
Yeah. So yes, last words, we have about 3 more minutes. So, again, I just want to say that you don't need better English, you just need more courage. So forget about your fear, forget about your insecurity, just go for it, okay? Jangan takut untuk cuba. And then confidence is basically taking small steps of courage every day. Beranikan diri sikit-sikit, cakap dengan Pak Gad, cakap dengan waiter, cakap dengan siapa-siapa yang jumpa, sikit-sikit, you just take that opportunity to speak with whoever yang you jumpa. Okay, and the more you speak, the less scared you become. Because a language is not like you baca buku and then suddenly everything just sticks to your head. You literally have to articulate the language, okay? And don't wait to feel confident before you speak. You speak first, and the confidence will follow. I hope that I can actually follow my own advice lah in Mandarin. It's scary. Yeah. So I think you and I both have something in common with everyone that's watching is we're all learning a new language right now. Yeah, she's learning Korean, which is going to be your third language.
Yeah.
And I'm learning Mandarin, which is also going to be my third language, and it will actually improve our brain processing sangat, I rasa. So kita tak, orang kata our brain needs that exercise, that mental exercise in order to keep healthy. And confidence is built in silence, in the mirror, in your room, day by day. So until one day someone else hears you speak, and then they will say, "Oh, your English is so good, huh?" So you will get to that point, but in between all of that, be kind to yourself. Kita jangan terlalu letak pressure dekat diri kita. Don't be too critical. Have fun. Translate lyrics. Shadow, your favorite characters. Watch Friends. Just do fun things because learning is meant to be fun. And on that day, you'll know that you didn't wait for any permission, that you spoke anyway. Okay, so thank you so much for joining our Speak English with Confidence class. I hope this is my first class. I hope that I did justice for this class. I hope that it was fun for everyone watching. And thank you so much berikan ruang untuk and Alyssa. Thank you for joining me. And I hope that we'll get to see each other again. Don't forget to spread to everybody about the ILMU app because there are so many things that you can learn on this app. And not just language, you can learn all other skills in this app. So take this opportunity to always keep learning and growing and improving. Take care, guys, and Assalamualaikum. See you again next time. Bye.
Bye.
4, 3, 2, 1. Sayonara. Hey guys, it's me. Yes, I'm Teacher Diana, and I'll be teaching a class on the ILMU Student app called Speaking English Confidently. We'll go through grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and fun tips to make you speak like a boss. Alright, Lisa, not panic when people go say, "Hello, would you like some tea and biscuits?" And it's happening on the 27th of July, Sunday at 8:30 p.m. And fun fact, ILMU isn't just for English. They have science, math, sejarah, art, music, Korean, everything. Except folding your laundry lah. That one you do yourself lah. Pandai-pandai lah hidup. So save the date and come and hang out with Teacher Diana. And don't forget to follow us on IG and TikTok. See you. Don't be shy, okay?